News and Services, July 27 and 32. It was happened. And before we start, I ask about the start. Okay.
Honorable, thank you for bringing us to come safely. As we prepare for this meeting, we ask that you prepare our hearts and lead us in your wisdom. May we set aside our own agendas and seek what you desire for us to accomplish during this meeting. Please direct our thoughts and guide our discussion. Help us to be attentive and respectful of one another's input and to work as a team. We ask that you grant us clarity of mind and lead us to helpful solutions. In Jesus' name, amen.
Good morning and welcome to the TV conference for the group and services. So I now call to order the TV conference for the group and services, July 27, 2020. And may I ask our procurement head to read the attendance for the determination of
Hello. Good morning, Mr. Chair, committee members, and if you want to say here today, we will proceed now with control for back attendance. Back chairperson, Engineer Donald Mark and Barangay. Back regular member, Engineer Alvin C. Ligarte. Back professional member, Engineer Noaya C. Mangway. Back end user member, Miss Nobisa E. Puramura. And your Storey back secretary, Engineer Wilco I. Sisal. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Cesar. So, before that members are present, so we can inform. For the record that all invited observers receive their notice of meeting at least 5 days prior in compliance with Public Act 1209 and BCIR. And I also wish to inform everyone that this proceeding is being live streamed through our visually full channel for transparency. And for today's agenda is the TV conference for the different services. We have only one contact ID, this 26DKK005, supply availability of maintenance materials we use for activity 41X repair of leak deck along with AR and GCVR, we hope to Balingasag Metro, Misamis Oriental, with AR and GCVR, we hope to Balingasag. So, with the ABC of 3,006,640 pesos. So for the item, it's 1 gram. Sorry, with a quantity of 80 grams. The weight asphalt 60 200 liters per gram. With 30 calendar days upon issuance of upload and TP. The delivery is the delivery. Issuance of the loading documents, including by payment of the loading bidding document of July 2023 to August 11, 2023 until 10 a.m. House copies at City-Cagayan, DPWH and our DPWH site and preview. We will conference today in 2023 at 10 a.m. Now, so third floor was moved to second floor at DPWH. DPWH may view the previous conference through our Livestream, page, DPWH Misamis Oriental for DEO. And receive of this bill before committee deadline of August 11 until 10 a.m. at DPWH. And obviously, for August 11, 2023, time 10 a.m. at Barangay Room at second floor DPWH. Effective leaders may do the opening of the floor down, using a YouTube channel at DPWH Misamis Oriental, Brgy or back Brgy. Each video can have folded one original of the first and second component of each tweet. While currently reading of the proposal is required, incomplete attachment is a ground for outright disqualification. Thank you. So since we only have one PR or contact ID for the previous conference, do you have any clarifications or concerns? No? So we can proceed with the technique of the financial and of the technical and financial for the group activity.
Procurement of goods and services. Documents comprising the bid. Technical and financial components. Eligibility requirements. PhilJEP Certificate of Registration, Platinum membership. Statement of all ongoing government and private contracts. SLCC. NFCC. Reminder. Failure of bidder to update PhilJEP's Certificate of Registration, Platinum membership, with the current and updated supporting documents shall result in the automatic suspension of the bidder's certificate. Single largest completed contract, SLCC. The bidder must have completed within 10 years from the submission of the bid, unless a shorter period is indicated in the invitation to bid. An SLCC that is similar to the procurement project to be bid, and whose value must be at least 50% of the AEC. It may allow bidders to present a combination of contracts completed within the same period, provided their total value is at least 50% of the AEC. Net financial contracting capacity, NFCC, must be at least equal to the AEC. The calculation involves current assets and liabilities, factoring in a multiplier of 15 minus outstanding or uncompleted contract values. The values of the domestic bidder's current assets and current liabilities shall be based on the latest AFS. Joint ventures. Joint ventures may participate, provided that the primary purpose of each member must be similar or related to the requirement of the project itself. Each member of the joint venture shall be jointly and severally liable to the PE in case of breach or failure to comply with the requirements of the project. Submission and receipt of bids. A bid shall have two components, namely the technical and financial components, which should be in separate sealed envelopes and which shall be submitted simultaneously. The bids shall be received by the BAC on such date, time, and place specified in the invitation to bid. The first bid envelope shall contain the following technical documents, at the least: Philgep's Certificate of Registration, Platinum Membership, Statement of all ongoing government and private contracts, Statement of SLCC, NFCC computation or committed line of credit, JPA or the duly notarized statement, if applicable, bid security in the prescribed form, amount, and validity period. G. Technical specifications, which may include production or delivery schedule, manpower requirements, or after-sales service or parts, if applicable. H. Omnibus sworn statement. And for foreign bidders claiming eligibility by reason of their country's extension of reciprocal rights to Filipinos, a certification from the relevant government office of their country, stating that Filipinos are allowed to participate in their government procurement activities for the same item or product. The second bid envelope shall contain the following financial documents: bid form, which includes the bid price, price schedules, and, if applicable, certificate of domestic preference in accordance with ITB Clause 25. ITB Clause 25 emphasizes domestic preference. The procuring entity grants priority and preference to Philippine products and services at all levels of the procurement process. Modification of bids. Bidders may modify their bid before the deadline for the receipt of bids, but shall only be allowed to send another bid, equally sealed, properly identified, linked to their original bid, and marked as modification, and stamped received by the BAC. Withdrawal of bids. Bidders, through a letter, may withdraw their bids or express their intention not to participate in the bidding before the deadline for the submission and receipt of bids. They shall no longer be allowed to submit another bid for the same contract, either directly or indirectly. Withdrawal of bids after the deadline to be subject to bid security. All bids under modes of procurement that are competitive in nature shall be accompanied by a bid security, which shall serve as a guarantee that bids have entered into a forms of bid security. The bidder shall submit a bid security declaration or any form of bid security in an amount not less than the required percentage of the ABC in accordance with the following schedule: cash or cashier's or manager's check issued by a bank, 2% of ABC. Bank draft or guarantee or irrevocable letter of credit issued by bank, 5% of ABC. Surety bond callable upon demand issued by a surety or insurance company, 5% of ABC. That is all. Thank you.
Any clarifications or concern regarding the pre-bid price, pre-procurement price for the goods and services? So if not, so let's adjourn first the pre-bid price for the goods and services. So any motion for the adjournment of this pre-bid price?
I vote for the adjournment of this pre-bid conference dated for goods and services dated July 27, 2026.
Yes, Mr. Gingoog and second, I declare this pre-bid conference for goods and services July 27, 2023. Thank you and good morning. So with that, suppose we can proceed with that. If you want this, that we works, but 10 o'clock moment. Wala sa i-off na ang tatong mic na Hey, good morning. So we proceed with the previous conference for city work. Today we will have a education week. And we have to review from the previous conference with the solution. And the few our committee are all followed today. The request about procurement and to read the attendance for the end user or for the end user and for the respective leaders for that.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this meeting as my live stream in person. We would like to acknowledge the presence of our observers and visitors from various local government units representative. Stands in Angal, Germany. Kagawad, Barangay Rosario, Balingasag. Gilbert Igma, Barangay Rosario, Kapitan. Morning, sir. Rodolfo Dumo, AGU, Balingasag. Rolero Dunang, welcome, sir. Chandler D. Arubal, from AGU Medina, sir. Lovely Terrace Biha, Ma'am, morning. And Berel Lagos, sir. And we would like also to acknowledge our back Indian representative, Indian Pastor G. Bandolis. Thank you. And also, I would like also to acknowledge the representative from PDs, Engineer Daniel Carcedo, Engineer Jimboy Laga, Engineer Cyril Grace Lapista, Engineer Almar Sabidra, and I think that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Sahar. So, welcome everyone, and once to be previous conference for the city work. So, to start, may I ask from the planning sector, if they want to start now, and whether we go to discuss the scope of the project.
So good morning, everyone. So for the first project for this preview conference, I'll present to you the project entitled Construction of Bridge Connecting Barangay Dumarait and Barangay Rosario. The station, 3 kilometers plus 355 meters to station, 300 kilometers plus 395 meters to Misamis Oriental. So next please. So contract ID 26KT0039, bridge length 40 meters, location, Balingasag, Misamis Oriental, appropriations, CBT, 316,000 pesos with a deposit cost of 582,830 pesos and the project duration of 325 to 30 days. Next, please. So this is the location of our project, which was located between Dumarait and Barangay Rosario, Balingasag, Misamis Oriental. So I'm going to araw located. So ang bagay niya sa commission is nasa Storey and then ako siya ongoing footbridge sa right side. So next please. So mission na po graphics. Yan, ang graphic mas natin doing ko sa bridge na social media stars mo. Actually, ang pinaka-pinit na po sa GCVR Landslide, ang gusto niya is i-locate ang atong bridge na sa pinag-speedway kaya hindi na direct na atong ang yung mga restaurant sa kuhan. Ano na yung voice ang tiyahang so yun natin ang nanging pinagaya sa experience sa kung quality na dihang kuhan bridge sa province. So one day is magiging na trabaho and then next is so version natin Dumarait Plaza Finish na 40 meters na bridge with a width of 9.54 meters, including around 1.110 sidewalk going both sides. So next please. So may siya itong section ng dulo sa itong abutment A, abutment B. So actually, wala sa kanya siya approach, so walang idea kung buhabi ka abutment. So may siya itong section dulo sa and dito sa itong abutment. So ang hindi nila, kasi we can 1.54 meters with 1.110 na sidewalk both sides. So next please. So kung actually kung sa itong each structure na yung approach. So actually medyo limited na wall, so therefore design na retaining wall para protection sa itong approaches na hindi po siya mabukag or mabukag. Knowing na medyo taas na grid ang iyang kwan. So by the way, na 6 meters nga height sa itong hindi na sa ground sa original ground ay sa finished grade sa atong bridge. So napalit tayo 50 meters na length pahingon sa existing PCCP or ground. So therefore, taas po din yung slope. So hindi na kayo siya tok-tok sa kawin ng tungkulan. Knowing na habubigin siya. So next please. So pero ay lang sa mga station sa mga 198, actually, sa kanya siya, tama naman is correct na siya, pero sa 128 is hindi na siya 128, hindi 153 para overall na siya ay 50 meters na approach. So, balik pa sa kanya ng kasi sa hindi nagiging asa taman, hindi pagiging dito sa topographic. So, makita na ako sa tuwa, makita na ako sa wala ako siya ng plot o and heart. So, makita na ito ng parang 160, wala abot na 80 converge, so na yung 160, wala abot na diya, tama na itong approach B, then dito sa approach A is tama dito sa 130 na station, so ang lot 4667 si almost dara, so naiwa ang si 0 plus 0.15, so hindi na po tama na itong approach A. So tatas din siya pwede approach na dili ko po sa kawan sa mga sakyanan ng mga taong mga tabok na rin mga sa kaso. Tapos po sa kanya. Next please. So kung siya atong mga supervisors na dito yung projects, actually ngayon din siya pero atong sa malahon natay provision of office to engineers, natay provision of furniture fixtures, natay project report signboard, occupational safety and health program, traffic management, mobilization, removal of structure, destruction of concrete, natay showing creating and related works, creating or compare damming for the approach, and for abutment, foundation, embankment from roadway structure excavation, etc. Embankment from roadways from excavation, natay aggregate service course, so aggregate service course, moving natay GCP for the approach, 4,000 concrete pavement and reinforced 0.3 m, so nga ang GCP for the approach. Stage 5 furnish na 305 by 305. So may siya itong the foundation for the foundation nato sa approaches. Then natay structural skill sheet para sa the protection of our complete atong slope protection sa atong abutment. Natay skill H5 na driven structural skill sheet files na driven concrete railing, reinforcing steel na grade 40 and grade 60 na tayo structural concrete na 57.50 megapascal or 4,000 PSI, precision structural concrete members na type 6 na girder, lean concrete na class B, paint, remolded expansion joint pillar with sealant, seismic isolation bearing lead rubber, so actually kanina siya is may siya itong ginagamit so na or ginatawag na bearing pads, so nagtulang siya o item name stone masonry, concrete slope protection, drain pipe galvanized para sa drainage sa itong bridge, and lastly is itong thermoplastic pavement na markings na white o yellow. So I guess that will be also any question for the viewers o sa atong mga end users na na-appearance concern. Sir, actually, regarding sa detour series, ako siyang titimbang di kung asa yung mas planawin nga kanipod sa device, pwede lang ito sa pikas, kay ang approach mo ang mas sa condition budget, kung butang itong detour, so may mo siyang tok-tok. So, mutong ako na lang i-adjust, ikaw na ito na itong bandit niyo, okay lang din siya pagian, kay nung nga naman siya na access sa pikas na dahil ito sa gaisado. Kay kung ato siyang butangan, Yung quantity yung related yung quantity yung slow bito sa approach. Instead nga makuha itong yung 5%, minimum siya 20 kapit. So, pokpok mo bisa kayo nun. Matawag itimbang ng mga kasama, mas okay.
Right, nag-appreciate.
Hindi mo binaw sa so doon kay hindi siya kayo kung kuan atong ibutang dito niya kay ibutang ako sa approach ng kuan amount.
Kung what's dito, kung saan mo pag-classify na,
Well, actually kay naman ni siya kuan naman ni siya kaning ano sa ako ano siya 40 meters ang good siya so kung dito sila sa paano type sa approach base lang magtungtong, pwede lang gawin nila mag-cluster sa lima din sa aspect. So, I guess pwede lang nila ma-utilize sa tikas approach ito sa tambay. Kasi ang tibaw ko sila kung mas okay. Actually sa paano ko nagklase sa yung amount para sa approach yung tumugod makuha na nakulangan bali so ito ang may iba ng solusyon sa akin lang yung dito ng ibuhat itong sabi ko na report na presentation na sacrifice sa bali pero yes actually paano ko dito so pwede naman ko niya saya ako tibangon sa inyo sa inyo pasahan na para maputangan sa upuan dito for the access
parang gateway lang na ako, kung wala dito naman, sa during that trip.
na access.
Thank you. No, tapos clarification at concern. Right. So, ilang mga thank you. So, we can proceed with the next project.
Mr. Chair, I would like to acknowledge our newly elected visitor from Barangay Gingoog City, 88. Joel Amper.
I'm very welcome.
So good morning, everyone. For the next project, we have 25 KK 0084 HFEP 2025 First Misamis Oriental General Hospital. Proposed expansion and upgrading, 6-story with basement phase 2. Barangay Poblacion, Medina, Misamis Oriental. So the appropriation for this project is 50 million and the ABC is 49 million. The duration of the project is 230 calendar days. So this is the project site. Next, please. The perspective of the project. So the project scope, we have complete structural steel framing works for the ground floor and second floor levels. And 27 SB1 structural members at the third floor level. Installation of steel deck flooring and reinforced concrete slab with cement waterproofing for the ground floor level. Construction of CHB wall partitions for the emergency department at the ground floor level. full mounted power transformer, including all required accessories, electrical routing 7,000 sewer line routing storm drainage system routing and road water distribution line routing. So these are the bill of quantities and the minimum equipment requirement. So that would be all.
Thank you, Mr. Carol. So, okay na pala na. So,
Yes.
nabalik na. So, habang mag-take follow-up from the
Sir, pwede possible ba ma-adjust na po ang yung timeline from 230 calendar days?
yung review. Take one. Possible siya, sir, pero mag-usap na punta o kuhan. Scope of work. Kaya mag-add-on pagkat mga more equipment at manpower. And then mausap na po yung scope of work na natin maligit ang tulad niyo. So, mga dyan. Pero, kung ako kita ng tuwing. Aku lang ang tuloy-tuloy sa wala rin ang balance niya wala rin.
Phase 3 na siya sa BCIR,
Araw-araw ito wala rin.
yun, may chance ng release.
Kamutan lang sa tuloy-tuloy mo. Kaya walang pas-pas sa mga siguro na siya kay wala na sa foundation na level na mas mayo gawin na magbuwan apat na to ang 2026 para buwan. Karena pag-procure nila sa main for pag-procure ng materials na isa ra ang buwan, mga I-beams or buwan. Then, ang mga dulo yung ilan nito sa place by watch, hindi ka kabalog dito bigger for the next phase 3 and then hindi siya mag-book na phase 2 ng tatlo. Mano ko nung procure mo. Buto na, kaya ba yung delivery ang bugay ko.
May target kung dapat ang 2026 ma-award by or nanay ma-obligate siya next January.
Nasa-start ka na. Nag-delivery. Oo.
Then may problem sa plan.
Nag-ready ka mo naman ng plano. Pag-concord na po tayo para sa kanila. Okay? Thank you very much. Yes, sir.
Sir, good morning. So may I just like to ask if these 230 calendar days, if lagi di sa mausap, can you or can you give us sa pila ka bulan, pila ka percentage mahuman na siya for us really to monitor as to the progress of the budget before.
As per course is running calendar days, but during the implementation, ninyo ang kwan, ang rate sa ulat na ng kwan. Apila sa suwag kwan, pila ka date ang kwan. Okay naman, so na-include na nila ang kwan na sa state. May rate na rate kwan, so kung manulat na pre-determine, for example, 30 calendar days ang pre-determine nila na rainy kwan. Pag mula pas kung yung implementation, kung mula pas o magsa-40 calendar days, so may 10 calendar days na ma-advert for the research. Ipahulog ka lahat ng pre-determine na rainy kwan.
Okay, thank you, sir. So, para sa monitor,
Hopefully, walang Una naman kung tayo i-reason at hindi naman delay, kay lumalaman ang coordinator, no? Kapay na delay sa coordinator. Naman mag-yes for that.
Oo, nga naman ang foundation ko. Pero
Taas na
bank ng
ay bankwet. Ano so, actually, para ito sa kontakto na ito sa nagwali na ito sa galing ng bankwet. Okay, so after the big reason, and then you can usually do that. Okay, thank you.
Kamusta? Wala ko may bisita dito. O, nasa lang may bisita ko para ako ulit ko sa gusto mo ba maganda sa mga talaga ito? Hindi mo wala na nagpapakwa. Ito na. Isa po si. May poster ng bante. Business, sa ko. Sis, ang magitindi mo, magitindi mo ako na.
Bakit mo ba magpuliwanag? Ha? Puliwanag mo. 59.
Bisa ito akan dapat hindi na doon. Ikaw sa estimate ba? Dapat
Let's go Browns. Nasa ka
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. For this matter, for the previous conference, technically, there hasn't been no changes from previous discussions that we had. And I was just going to be elaborating the details as to the project 2688 we were working on. Construction of water responsibility, please provide 15 classrooms, including level 18A, elementary school, school LED, 180 City Misamis Oriental. Next, please. So this is actually perspective of the way. And this is the site development plan. So technically, the site development plan, we actually incorporated the mitigation because it's on the management groups and license, next, please. So, information niya, kailangan na sa TV, yung natural growing line as existing, kaya zoom in, not that. Next, please. So, kailangan siya ng TV is, yung natural elevation as to existing road. It's all the projection, the entire area will be illuminated by 2 meters. Motion output siya na moving world. So, we can offset the 2 meters ito siya ang effects sa area. So, ano na siya? May 3-story retaining wall and embankment. Next, please. So, what is the elevation? Next, please. And the floor plan. So, individual floor plans, individual plans, and so that must be accommodating and as accessible towards students. Next, please. Next, please. So the project details, construction of the purpose building, this storage 50 classrooms will be gradually delayed on the school. School IE, the 80 gradually also in Misamis Oriental. Appropriation for that is 26 million. And then in this area, the approved budget cost or the cost will be an approved use for the actual regulation is 50 million. 684.29, and the ER, which will be the number for the 56 million, will be engineering and so 36 and 85 cents. So for the government duration is 375 calendar days, and the final source is the 2026. So you may be asking, when the corporation of representation, this returns, the living is not the typical structure, because which is another one, and but we have to implement interventions such as column. So we need to look at each other as fast as possible sa pag-construction building because we cannot proceed the major structural components, columns, beams, slabs, and is not still enough to meet those goals. So for the scope of work, so the scope of work includes the following: common plans, and then this complete structural components, including columns, sidings, weight beams, suspended beams, like suspended slabs, stairs, etc. Complete roofing works, including and fixtures, operational sprinklers, and system, including accessories, generator and generator room, backgrounds, exterior side of the building, circuit and system mass, ceiling works at 3rd floor level, complete transformation of the electrical works, commit 111211 and 101 and 109. Next is system and shaping works. And the painting works is in the middle, but technically it's the entire project includes each lines including painting overall works, ceiling at 3rd floor, pero hindi sa ground second floor. Pero painting lang na siya. And then meron si Storey, right, and technically, building is not used for occupancy after the completion of contract. So, wala siya for this for next please. So, for the equipment requirement, these are the equipment required for the implementation of the project. Backbone, data, reconstruction, data prediction, model pattern, model building machine, cutting output, track model training, and online use by CE, may mga equipment requirements in the video, but we will show you example vantage point. Next please. Congratulations, you have the opportunity, items next to your screen. Next, please. Next, please. So, that will be all from the presentation. If there are any questions, so, please the person online will be happy to answer that.
Follow-up, sir, question. But, okay.
Start na, so kung hindi ko ginawa sa magamit ng mga tubig. So for based on the initial contractor for the first one, because in the earlier part of the in the process, wala nila siya consider katong mitigation factor. That was actually required by the LGU to ulit to cable line, pero hindi man sila mo approve sir sa building permit. So, kinahanglan nila ang gusto, dapat itataas ang area, 2 meters, taas 2 meters sir. And na-approve siya mga catchment para sa tubig, sa patulog. So we have to cater them. And aside from that, is katong area is being used as yung storage to be started diretso na itong matutunan. So, magkinahanglan na requires. For that reason sir, ang bali ng contract, hindi pag-extra makakomplete. So, we need pag-extra additional funding for operation. So, temperature for this one, naana sa mga partitions and fittings, wala doors and windows, so hindi siya magamit sa mga students. So, as per initial before, remove ko rin siya by level, kung naman ito complete itong by level, tapos ang iba complete, hindi natin siya conclusive for occupancy because ang recommendation of the LGU in order to get requirement, in order to get the occupancy permit is dapat na-employ na tanan ng mitigating structures. And then dito nga ito makaroon ng perimeter fence, may ibang dato siya. So, dito ihapon sila makagamit. So, ito is to be ito isang complete for this contract.
Okay, sir, kaya kung sir, kung ang area lang natin, sir, is may problema o this box field, hindi ito sa kwarta to complete ko tayo. Mamuhay na yung area sa 18A na sir, nga kabutanan yun na muna lang kwarta, wala natin pag-request alam sir, is for quality sa location or ang area niya. Ready for quality job, quality structure na yun na okay, tayo at Landslide, kapit tayo mo. Ano lang po for this report? 5,000 na po, not to tayo. So, apay pa lang po sir.
Ano naman mga structure na mga project?
Mga 1 month siguro from now sir, makastart na. Hindi na may budget ang operating ang apit ng 12 days plus from now. So, mga 1 month na school na po. So, kapay pa utana, wala na, so we can proceed with the next project. So, ako kung mga barangay na. Okay. Ako rin sa kwan mo. May Poblacion sa Poblacion.
Good morning, everyone. I'm tasked to present the project 26K063, which is the construction of multipurpose building in Barangay Poblacion, Magsaysay, Misamis Oriental. By the way, I am architect Frankie Gingoog. Next, please. Okay, the appropriation of the said project is 5 million, and the approved budget for the contract is 4,947,000, and project duration of 160 calendar days. For the scope of works, so this is actually a completion of the already built project. So the completion includes the installation of canopy for the main entrance and the perimeter pathway. That is 3 sides of the gym. We also have built-up letters for the gymming located at the main entrance canopy, decorative stone finish on round block boxes, and application of state seal on all block boxes with decorative stones. We also have landscaping works and provision of water pumping system materials, which to it we have the stainless steel tank. Next, please. For the location of the site, so from the main highway, we have an access road leading to the actual site. Let's have a closer look at the site. Next, please. So the one pointed is the existing gym where the construction will be done. Next, please. So we have here latest site pictures. So the one on top is the main entrance with decorative stones where the canopy will be installed. Other pictures are facade, the front, the left, and the right side of the building, where perimeter canopies will also be installed. And the lower right is the plant box at the rear side of the gym, where the space seal will be applied. Next, please. So basically, this is how the building looks like at the moment. And next, please. This is how it will look like after the construction of the proposed canopy. So as you can see, we have the front canopy at the main entrance with aluminum cladding and built-up letters bearing the name of the gym, and a perimeter canopy. Basically, it's a solid sheet polycarbonate on rectangular tube with suspension cables. So for the to be provided na tank will be installed at the back of the stage. So basically, that's the project. So basically, ang main na lagi natin na is ang perimeter canopy, which is the requested na ipabuhat sa LGU since para for the protection of the rentable spaces around the gym. So, any questions, sir? We also have here Engineer Jose Pahayo, who will be discussing the bill of materials needed and the equipment and the work. Sir?
Okay. So for our this project, we have below facilities. Then we have provision of field office for the engineer. We have permission clearances. We also have budget billboard and signboard. Occupational safety and health. Mobilization and demobilization. And then general scaffolding, shoring and netting. Signages, landscaping. We have a decorative stone, ceiling metal frame, gypsum board, monochrome sa front na entrance, with a fascia board metal, and aluminum cladding. We also have a wood tile, flooring for the stage gym, stage flooring. So again, painting works and masonry works. Painting works as steel. Pre-painted metal sheets about 0.427 type long span. We also have polycarbonate sheets, panels, solid for the perimeter canopy. Then fabricated metal roofing accessory, page 26 for the flashing. Metal accessory, page 24 for the gutter. Structural steel trusses. For wings, metal structure, bolts and guards. We have steel plates, subgrabs, cross bracing, turn buffer. We also have storm drainage and downspout. For the electrical, we have conduits, boxes and fittings, wires and wiring devices, lighting fixtures, and lastly, we have a provision for the water pumping system. So that's all for the summary of this. Again, the equipment, the problem. The next. Overall, we do this. Next.
Thank you, Architect. Yeah. So, any questions mo? Okay. Follow up kung kami.
Sir, regarding sa permit sa relationship, kung saan may ako na siya, ipag-permit na lang na siya, ipag-isyonan. Nakagaya ko na sir. Nakagaya ko na siya.
What nga?
Okay, permit mo siya sa IP ko. Na permit siya, building permit, occupancy.
Ang bili-permit ko sir, kaya occupancy ang review naman.
Hindi na. So, building permit lang.
Ay, yung kailangan mag-apply for the occupancy.
Occupancy. Okay. Okay, sir.
So, kung wala na yung walang question, we can go to the next question. Magkano yung question? Dapat yung magkano ito, pero nila ako. Okay, thank you, sir.
Ikaw. Pero ang business na ba kasi tawag na sila yung kung person mo. Ano ba ito? Hindi sa magawa ko na kasi. Hindi lang ba? Basta. Pero hindi na siguro.
Good morning, sir. For the next project is contract ID to 60K0059. This is construction of multi-purpose building, Barangay Balingasag, Misamis Oriental. Source of fund is GAA, for 2026, located at Misamis Oriental, with an appropriation of 8 million pesos and approved by the cost of 7,971,082.15 pesos. And the duration of 6 months or 180 calendar days. So this is the project site. map. Next, please. So, actually, sir, same with dapat as pagkatang last na sa people. I consulted the architect and same with ito na di plan itong sa so sa photos, same. Okay, perspective, same again. So for the scope of work, same again on as people. 10.7 by 20, covered court with stage and CR. Ramp. Complete reconstruction works, as well as the structural works covering footing, column, trusses, girts, struts, and fascia frames. Roofing, gutter downspout are likewise included. And with the architectural finishes para dito sa stage and CR. Installation of tiles, painting works. So, na siya yung painting work, both concrete and steel. First, basic steel fences and electrical works. The concrete PWD rack is equipped with stainless steel railings and textured tactile tiles with retaining wall. Next, please. So these are the equipment required: backhoe, dump truck, plate compactor, powder mixer, bar cutter, bar bender, welding machine, cutting outfit, and truck mounted plane. So this is the typical plan, more change sa katong sa people. Next, please. This is the detail for the column. Next, please. Brush detail. Connection between the trusses and the column. And this is the detail for the retaining wall and fence. Summary of items. So, construction of the office and actually getting provision of furniture, tools, equipment, and appliances for the field office of the engineer. Permits, clearances, project report, occupational safety, mobilization, scaffolding, earthworks, structural concrete works, reinforcing steel bars and formworks, soil poisoning, CHD, architectural finishes na works, as well as structural elements, members, sa plumbing works and electrical works. Kasi item there is a pinaka-last, which is kaning concrete slope protection. Ano siya itong retaining wall with posts. So, ano siya? Thank you.
Hello, okay, thank you. So,
Mr. Chair, I would like to acknowledge our newly arrived visitor. Barangay Gingoog, Medina, Misamis Oriental, Barangay Kapitan, Lolita Reconstruction. Ma'am, welcome. Thank you for joining us today. DPWH. Ay, Barangay DPWH dito.
Tomorrow, so. Pero ang Gingoog, sir, dahil na-bit naman na.
Wala akong pending sa native ko dito. Kasi nag-attend gusto.
Tapos ito, sir.
Sa exam, nag-attend user last time sa
Before we go, sa proceed to the next project, we have up. Number one, tama, tayo.
Pag-delivery ko.
Before we go, proceed to the next project, before we.
Good morning, Honorable Madam Sir. As for our next project, we have rehabilitation reconstruction of roads with slip, slope collapse, and landslide. Primary roads, Butuan City, Cagayan, City-Iligan City Road, 1342 plus 460 up to 1342 plus 730. So the scope of our project is construction of retaining wall, attachment wall, which includes concrete line canal, PCCP works, widening of roads, paved shoulder, and thermoplastic pavement markings. As for our source, we have 26, length 270 meters, an appropriation of 45,730,000 pesos, an approved budget cost of 44,615,457.62 centavos with an approved calendar days of 250. Next, please. So, kung siya ng project is makita natin siya sa Barangay Pangpangon, Talisayan, in which meters away lang siya after sa atong Santa Ines Bridge 2. Next, please. Next. So, muna ang ato ang pictures. Next, please. So, as for the ground profile, muna siya, makita na ito na affected matrix. Next, please. O kana mga naka-violet mo na itong mga highlighted na photo, please. So, atong structure is naaragid sa facing Cagayan, left side lagi tatanan. Next, please. So, left side tatanan, tapos narin tayo gamay lang din mo kanal sa pikas para balance. Next, please. Next, please. Muna siya ang start, middle, ug end nga actual dito. So, sa middle ug end ang taas-taas sa start, hindi tayo siya habol. Next, please. These are the minimum equipment requirement needed sa kanyang project. Next, please. These are the specific bill of quantities. First is the provision of field office for the engineer, provision of provision of furniture, fixtures, equipments, and appliances to the field office of the engineer, project billboard signboard, occupational safety and health program, traffic management, mobilization, demobilization, clearing and grading, illegal removal of trees, removal of structures and obstruction, structure excavation from soil and soft rock, subgrade preparation for raw material, aggregate subgrade course, Portland cement concrete pavement, reinforcing steel, 40, structural concrete, 60, and plus A, concrete slope protection, ceilings, saplings for other programs and initiatives,
And the reflectorized thermoplastic will make markings white.
That would be all for the road slope for this area.
Thank you. Dear Alma, so you have any clarification? So none, so we can proceed with the last project. Oh, sorry.
Bulat sa dito.
Good morning, everyone. For the next project, we have the construction of access road to Butuan Center for you, RRCY in Barangay 26 Gingoog, City, Misamis Oriental. The location, Barangay 26 Gingoog City with a contract duration of 82 calendar days, an appropriation of 10 million and ABC of 9,347,662.93. So, from here, the location mo, so natin ito kakasibihan. Here sa, RCY mo siya madalawan. Next, please. So, for the scope of works, we have construction of complete road, 2 lane, 5 meter width, 220, and paved shoulder, 0.6 meter, 150 mm thick, removal and placement of attractive trees, and removal and relocation of electric poles. Next, please. So, here the total map. So, we have one affected electrical poles and affected trees. First, it starts from station 0 plus 659 to station 0 plus 845. Next, please. So, as per the segment 2, we have station 1 plus 112 to station 1 plus 424. And we have here also affecting electrical poles and trees. Next, please. So, for the actual photos aside, here for the section A, ladder length of 186 meters. Next, please. For the section 2, we have 212 meters. Kasama na niya siya ang sa RCY na lalo. Next, please. So, for the quantities, we have construction of field office for the engineer, Balingasag, project board and some board, 10 bridge, occupational safety and health program, 1 traffic management, 1 mobilization and demobilization, 1 removal and relocation of utilities, 1 individual removal of trees, 2 each, embankment, 274.17 cubic meters, surplus, permanent excavation, 1,074.87 cubic meters, separate preparation, 3,158 square meters, aggregate survey scores, 796.8 cubic meters, PCCP of 0.2 597.6 square meters, PCCP of 0.2 2,490 square meters, and seedlings and more saplings for other programs and initiatives, 200 each. That would be all.
Thank you, Henry. So, do you have any clarification, especially for our YouTube viewers? If not, so we can proceed with the checklist of the technical and financial performance.
Need pa ba site inspection certificate? Question.
Babasa nga po,
The preparation of bid doc outside.
hindi ko basa. Picture lang ako.
A paper site.
Sabihin about
So the days na doon nila
pero ito ba may sila?
akong gisan.
Pero ano sa sila ito ba pero dito
We can proceed with the checklist. of the technical level of power.
Procurement of civil works. Documents comprising the bid. Technical and financial components. For the eligibility requirements, bidders are required to submit the following documents. First, a FILJEP certificate of registration under platinum membership. Second, a statement of all ongoing government and private contracts. Third, a statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract or SLCC. Fourth, the bidder's computation of the net financial contracting capacity or NFCC. Finally, for joint ventures, a joint venture agreement or JVA in accordance with Republic Act number 4566, otherwise known as the Contractor's License Law and its implementing rules and regulations. Please be reminded that the failure of the bidder to update their FILJEP certificate of registration with the current and updated supporting documents shall result in the automatic suspension of the bidder's certificate. For the single largest completed contract, or SLCC, the bidder must have completed a contract similar to the project being bid. The value of the SLCC, adjusted to current prices using the PSA Consumer Price Indices, must be at least 50% of the approved budget of the contract to be bid. However, contractors under small A and small B categories who do not have similar experience may still be allowed to bid, provided that the cost of the contract does not exceed the allowable range of contract cost of their registration, in accordance with PCAP guidelines. Please note that the SLCC must be supported by an owner's certificate of final acceptance issued by the project owner other than the contractor. Alternatively, a final rating of at least satisfactory in the CPES or a similar performance and monitoring system may be submitted. For contracts with the private sector, an equivalent supporting document shall be required. For the net financial contracting capacity, or NFCC, the bidder's computed NFCC must be at least equal to the approved budget for the contract to be bid. The NFCC is calculated using the prescribed formula, as shown. The values of the current assets and current liabilities of domestic bidders shall be based on their latest audited financial statements. Joint ventures may participate in the bidding process, provided that the primary purpose of each member is similar or related to the requirements of the project. Each member of the joint venture shall be jointly and severally liable to the procuring entity in case of any breach or failure to comply with the project requirements. For the submission and receipt of bids, each bid shall consist of two components, the technical component and the financial component. These components must be placed in separate sealed envelopes and submitted simultaneously. Bids shall be received by the Bids and Awards Committee, that on the date, time, and place specified in the invitation to bid. The first bid envelope shall contain the technical documents, which must include at the least a FILJEP certificate of registration under platinum membership, B, PCAB license and registration in the case of a joint venture, C, statement of all ongoing government and private contracts, D, statement of the single largest completed contract, or SLCC, E, computation of the net financial contracting capacity, or NFCC, F, joint venture agreement if applicable, and G, bid security in the prescribed form, amount, and validity period. H, project requirements, which shall include the following. 1, the organizational chart for the procurement project to be bid. 2, the list of contractors' personnel, for example, project manager, project engineers, materials engineers, and foremen, to be assigned to the project, along with their complete qualifications and experience. 3, the list of contractors' major equipment units, whether owned, leased, or under purchase agreements, supported by proof of ownership or certification of availability from the equipment lessor or vendor for the duration of the project. 4, omnibus sworn statement in accordance with section 54.3 of this IRR. 5, latest general information sheet, GIS, reflecting the beneficial ownership information, BOI, duly received by the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, for corporations. The following forms are for your reference. For bid security, all bids under competitive procurement methods must be accompanied by a bid security. The bid security serves as a guarantee that the bidder will enter into a contract if awarded the project. The bidder shall submit either a bid securing declaration or any form of bid security in an amount not less than the required percentage of the ABC, according to the following schedule. Cash or cashier's or manager's check issued by a bank, 2% of the ABC, bank draft guarantee, or a reputable letter of credit issued by a bank. 5% of the ABC, surety bond callable upon demand issued by a surety or insurance company. 5% of the ABC, the omnibus sworn statement must be executed by the bidder or by its duly authorized representative. It should contain the requirements outlined in section 54.3 of the implementing rules and regulations of RA 12,009, contractors' key personnel. The key personnel should meet the following number of years' work experience. The experience means total years of civil works experience of any nature in construction and engineering consultancy service. Include the tax identification number or TIN of the key personnel. Compliance to DEO. 98 series of 2016. Revised guidelines on the accreditation of contractors, consultants, materials engineer, and to include the contact number of the materials engineer. Compliance to DEO. 148 series of 2024. Guidelines in the accreditation and assignment of contractors and consultants project engineer. If a proposed key technical personnel is an employee of the bidder and working on another project at the time of the bidding, the bidder shall submit a certification that 1. The personnel will be pulled out from the ongoing project once the bidder is awarded the contract, and 2. He or she will be replaced with another person with equal or better qualifications as certified by the head of the implementing office, pursuant to Department Order Number 9, Series 2012. The proposed key personnel and replacement must be named in the bidding document. The following are the key personnel required. 1 project manager with 5 years of general experience and 5 years of relevant experience. A valid and updated government issued ID with 3 signatures should be attached. The second is 1 project engineer with 3 years of general experience, 3 years of relevant, and is a DPWH accredited project engineer. A valid and updated government issued ID with 3 signatures should be attached, including their project engineer certificate. The third personnel is 1 materials engineer who is a DPWH accredited materials engineer. A valid and updated government issued ID with 3 signatures should be attached, as well as their materials engineer certificate. The fourth personnel is 1 foreman who has 5 years of general experience and 3 years of relevant experience. A valid and updated government issued ID with 3 signatures should be attached. The fifth personnel is 1 safety officer 2, with 5 years of general experience and 3 years of relevant experience. A valid and updated government issued ID with 3 signatures should be attached, as well as their certificate of training issued by Dole. The last personnel is 1 full-time health personnel. A valid and updated government issued ID with 3 signatures should be attached, as well as their certificate of training. For contractors' major equipment units, the contractor must provide proofs of ownership or other supporting documents for equipment that is owned, leased, or under purchase agreements. For leased or purchased equipment, a certificate of availability from the lessor or vendor must be submitted for the duration of the project. Proofs of ownership and supporting documents must specify model and year, capacity, performance, or size, plate number, motor number, body number, chassis serial number, engine serial number, specific location and condition of the equipment. These requirements are in accordance with Department Order 58, Series of 2012. For contractors' minimum materials testing equipment, refer to Department Order 11, Series of 2017 for the required equipment. The second bid envelope shall contain the following financial documents. Original of duly signed and accomplished financial bid form. Original of duly signed bid prices in the bill of quantities. Duly accomplished detailed estimates form, including a summary sheet indicating the unit prices of construction materials, labor rates, and equipment rentals used in coming up with the bid. Cash flow by quarter. Submission and receipt of bids. Bid submission may be done manually or electronically online. However, bidders should only select 1 mode of submission, either manual or electronic. The address for receipt of bids submitted manually is Back Conference Room, 3rd floor, DPWH MOFDEO, Barangay 26, Gingoog City, Misamis Oriental. For electronic submission, electronic bids _Misamis Oriental 1 at dpwh.gov.ph. Modification of bids. Bidders may modify their bid before the deadline for the receipt of bids. In case of modification, bidders shall not be allowed to retrieve their original bid, but shall only be allowed to send another bid, equally sealed, properly identified, linked to their original bid, and marked as modification and stamped received by the BAP. Withdrawal of bids. Bidders, through a letter, may withdraw their bids or express their intention not to participate in the bidding before the deadline for the submission and receipt of bids. They shall no longer be allowed to submit another bid for the same contract, either directly or indirectly. Withdrawal of bids after the deadline shall be subject to appropriate sanctions. The financial component of the bids of each past bidder shall be evaluated using non-discretionary criteria, including arithmetical corrections for computational errors, and thus determine the correct total calculated bid process. The BAC shall automatically disqualify any total calculated bid price which exceeds the ABC. The following factors are to be considered in the evaluation of the bid prices. Completeness. No price and required item free to the government, RA 12,009, indicating a 0 or a dash free to the government. All prices are deemed to include all taxes. Bids not addressing or providing all of the required items in the bidding documents, including, where applicable BOQ, shall be considered non-responsive. Arithmetical corrections. Bid prices and figures versus words prevail. Total price per item versus unit price for the item as extended or multiplied by the quantity of that item. Unit price for the item as extended or multiplied by the quantity of that item prevails. Stated total price versus actual sum of prices and component items. Actual sum of prices and component items prevails. Unit cost in the detailed estimate versus unit cost in BOQ. Unit cost in BOQ prevails. Amount in price schedule versus amount in bid form. Amount in bid form prevails. Post qualification. Legal requirements. Licenses, certificates, permits, agreements, and non-inclusion in blacklist. Technical requirements. Key personnel, minimum work experience requirements should be satisfied. Availability and commitment of major construction equipment and materials laboratory equipment. Performance in ongoing government and private contracts. Negative slippage of at least 15% in any project, or a negative slippage of at least 10% in each of 2 or more contracts. Failure of the contractor to commence repair works on ongoing contracts within 7 calendar days and to complete them within 30 calendar days after receipt of the procuring entity's notice of defects and deficiencies. Failure of the contractor to commence repair works on contracts with pending certificates of acceptance within 30 calendar days and complete them within 90 days after receipt of the procuring entity's notice of defects and failures. Substandard quality of work as per contract plans and specifications, or unsatisfactory performance of the contractor's obligations as per contract terms and conditions at the time of inspection. Financial requirements, bid price proposal. Required committed line of credit in the amount specified and over the period stipulated in the bidding documents, when applicable. NFCC, within 5 calendar days from receipt by the bidder of the notice from the back that the bidder has the LCB, MEAB, MAB, or HRB, the bidder shall submit the following. All the eligibility documents supporting its PhilJEP certificate of registration, platinum membership, its latest income and business tax returns filed for the preceding quarter, which should not be earlier than 2 quarters from the date of submission and receipt of bid, and other appropriate licenses and permits required by law and stated in the bidding document. The BAC shall recommend to the HOPE the award of contract to the bidder with the LCRB after the post-qualification process has been completed. Within 10 calendar days from receipt by the winning bidder of the notice of award, the following conditions should be complied before the contract may be awarded. Submission of the following documents by the winning bidder. Valid JVA if applicable. A valid PCAB license and registration for the type and cost of the procurement project to be bid for foreign bidders in infrastructure projects, when the treaty or international or executive agreement expressly allows submission of such license and registration as a precondition to the notice of award, or the SEC certificate of registration of the foreign corporation, or the SEC certificate of registration of the foreign consulting firm, or the authority or license from the appropriate government agency or professional regulatory body of the foreign professionals engaged in the practice of regulated professions and allied professions, where applicable. Posting of performance security by the winning bidder in accordance with Section 68 of this IRR. Signing of the contract by the parties. Common errors in the submission of bids. Failure to submit original copy of the surety bond certified by the Insurance Commission, indicating the name of project, the procuring entity, and name of contractor. Shorter bid validity and bid security validity period. Overlapping of pledge equipment and committed key technical personnel. Failure to indicate the validity of bid in the bid form. Late submission of bids. Failure to submit supporting documents, such as the certification of availability of equipment from the equipment lessor vendor for the duration of the project, if equipment pledge is to be leased purchased. Negative slippage in the ongoing projects, negative 15% or more, or negative 10% in each of the 2 or more ongoing projects, unsatisfactory CPS rating, incomplete pages of bid documents, technical and financial. Authority of the signatory to sign on behalf of the bidder. Single proprietor. Signatory should be the owner, proprietor only. Corporation cooperative. Board secretary certificate and board resolution. Joint venture resolution agreement. Partnership, as indicated in the articles of partnership.
Also to Department Order number 110 series of 2024, the DPWH has officially inaugurated ISO 901-2015 certification as an additional requirement in the bidding documents. The Bids and Awards Committee reminds all prospective bidders of the obligation to fully and truthfully disclose all ongoing and awarded but not yet started contracts, including DPWH, other government and public contracts. Failure to submit and declare any ongoing and awarded but not yet started contract constitute a ground for disqualification and imposition of appropriate sanctions. Procurement activities, issuance, downloading of bidding documents, including buying, payment of downloaded bidding documents on August 2026 until 8:30 a.m. Hard copies at Government Unit, 3rd floor of DPWH Mobile, downloadable from the following websites: DPWH website, www.dpwh.gov.ph, Physics website, www.physics.gov.ph. Receipt of units copy of bidding documents on August 2026 until 10 a.m. DPWH Mobile. Opening of bids on August 2026 at 10 a.m. at Back Conference Room, 3rd floor, DPWH Mobile. Category reports, 2084. HFEP 2025. First, Misamis Oriental General Hospital proposed expansion and upgrading 6-story replacement phase 2, Barangay North Poblacion, Medina, Misamis Oriental. Major category reports, buildings, construction without tiles, medium-rise, concrete frame, 6 to 15 stories. 26 KK0011, Rehabilitation, Reconstruction of roads with slips, slab collapse and landslide. Primary roads, Butuan City-Cagayan Road, City-Iligan City Road, registration K1342 plus 460, registration 1342 plus 730. Major category reports, roads, construction, slab protection using structural measures, development, retaining structures, rock making, concrete grid, shotcrete, LSE walls, gabions, riprap, masonry. 26 KK0039, construction of bridges connecting Barangay Dumarait and Barangay Rosario. Registration 3+355, registration 35395, Balingasag, Misamis Oriental. Major category reports, bridges, construction, concrete, superstructure with driving tiles. 26 KK0051, construction of multi-purpose building, 3-story, 15 CL square building. Barangay 18E, Elementary School, with school ID 12852, Barangay 18E, Gingoog City, Misamis Oriental. Major category reports, buildings, construction with tiles, low-rise, concrete, frame driving tiles 1 to 5 stories. 26 KK 0059, construction of multi-purpose building, Barangay Balingasag, Misamis Oriental. Major category works, buildings, construction without tiles, low-rise concrete frame 1 to 5 stories. 26 KK 0060, construction of multi-purpose building in Barangay Poblacion, Misamis Oriental. Major category of works, buildings, construction without tiles, low-rise concrete frame 1 to 5 stories. 26 KK 0067, construction of access road to regional center of the Barangay 26 Singaw City, Misamis Oriental. Major category works, roads, construction, PCCP. For technical and financial documents, please refer to the sample. It is a mandatory requirements that the bid and supporting documents should be hard and properly done. Thank you.
Hello, thank you. So we have some questions from our online viewers. From Joe London, 7703. Technical influential preparation, so it's not already discussed. So from another deep side of special certificate. So for the question number 1, is the side special certificate not applicable na siya kay included sa omnibus warrant statement. Second, docs website of our paper gamiton. Either local ko din, no? Pinagamit ng DPWH or A4 na nilagatunan. A4. So probably A4 size, if possible. Ibutang anal state the legal authority for the big form. So for proprietorship, so I will read. Landslide is authorized to submit the bid on behalf of name of the proprietorship as evidence by behalf of name of the proprietorship and evidence by the state the legal authority. So for proprietorship, SPA, special power of attorney, and for corporation, we board resolution and secretary certificate must be attached. And we cover LOI, so letter of intent, so no need to attach the LOI. So
Number 5 now.
hope we answer the query from our on-site.
Ay, number 5.
Number,
Not yet. That one, 3, 6, 8, 8,
so we have some there. Able to for 63 EBC 4,147, no need I go to the division. For construction of multi-purpose building in Barangay Poblacion, Barangay, no need na ang HFEP. Ano ito? So, we have some very event call also in our office or make it in our office. So, if you have any question, and you don't have any topic to be discussed, so any motion for the adjournment of this critical for the meeting.
Mr. Chair, I move for the adjournment from this rebate conference for civil works dated July 27, 2026.
I'll second the motion.
It was moved and seconded, very critical for civil work, July 27, 2026. Okay, no, thank you, and good morning and bye-bye.